We asked students 21 questions to get to know them, their program, and their experience at Salus University. Here's what they had to say. What's your name?
My name is Paige Madden.
Where are you from?
I am originally from Louisiana, but I moved to Pennsylvania the year that I applied to PA school.
What program are you in?
I am in the physician assistant program at Salus.
Why did you want to pursue this career?
I knew I always wanted to work in the healthcare field, but I wasn't quite sure in what capacity. And after college, I actually went to grad school first for public health epidemiology. And while I was there, I realized, no, I definitely wanted to work on the clinical side and not the kind of community and research side. And just through my healthcare options, I had always known about PA school, and it really appealed to me. So,
why did you choose Salus?
So I chose Salus because of the kind of feeling I got from the interview. It seemed like a really great community. The students who interviewed us really seemed like they enjoyed the program, that they felt supported, and that the professors really wanted their students to succeed.
What have you discovered about your subject area as a grad student that you wish you knew as an undergrad student?
Maybe how PAs are utilized in different areas of the country. So in some parts of the country, it's more common for PAs to be able to do deliveries, whereas in other parts of the country, it's not as common. So kind of like the variety of distribution of skills.
What do you feel is unique about your program at Salus?
So the PA program at Salus actually lets us start getting into clinical experiences from the first semester. So from the first semester, we are going not, as a clinical, acting as a PA, student in clinical year, but we're getting to interview patients, kind of see how the hospitals work and all of that just from the get-go.
Have you had any discouraging or especially triumphant moments in the classroom or clinic?
I think that both discouraging and exciting came from one class. For our gross anatomy class, which is just notoriously hard in any health profession, anatomy is. I really struggled up through the midterm and didn't do so well, but I was able to find study skills that worked for me, and I actually excelled at the final. So it was kind of really disappointing halfway through, but I was able to triumph at the end. So,
what clinical experience has made an impact on you thus far at Salus?
I am currently in my women's health rotation, and I really think that is the one that's made the biggest impact so far. I really like the kind of mix of primary care and acute care and the relationships that you get to build with your patients, which of course you get to do in other primary care fields, but it just seems really special that the relationships you can build in women's health.
What's been your favorite class so far?
In didactic year, so when we're in the classroom, it was probably Advanced Clinical Skills 3. I think that's where we did a lot of our kind of doing skills on each other or mannequins. So blood draws or deliveries or anything like that. So it was just kind of neat to have hands-on experience that we were going to be doing in our clinical year.
Have you had any Eureka moments in the classroom or clinic?
I think that they just happen constantly throughout clinical year. So, you learn all of these things in the classroom and you know it and you can, repeat it and you know these facts and how care works. But then when you see it in practice, you're like, oh, okay, this is how it all fits together.
Are you a part of any clubs or groups on campus?
I am a member of the Challenge Bowl team for the AAPA meeting. So every year at the American Academy of PAs annual meeting, most schools submit a Challenge Bowl team, and it's basically a quiz bowl of medical questions and facts. So they have found a way to do it virtually this year, and we're looking forward to that.
What's your favorite study snack?
I really like the thin pretzels and cuties, the little clementines. Those are probably my favorites.
What's your study strategy?
So I would always rewatch all of our lectures. So I am really auditory and in my learning, and our program, even before we were doing some more online classes because of the pandemic, all of our lectures were recorded. So I would go back and re-listen to the lectures and take notes on things that I might have missed, and then study from that, and often study in a group afterwards, because that just helps reinforce topics that maybe you didn't focus as much on, but they caught on to more.
Where's your favorite spot to study on campus?
Like I said, I like to study in groups some. So we liked to study in our classroom, or in the group study rooms in the library, or in the group conference rooms in the Hafter Center, which are just the best kept secret ever.
What advice would you offer a peer who might be struggling in a specific subject or class?
I think it's valuable to reach out to any trusted classmates to see their thoughts on ways that maybe you could improve, or just to discuss if they're having the same issues, because when you're struggling, a lot of times you feel alone, but I promise you are not alone at all. Everybody struggles at some point, and it may not be in the same class, but they may have tips to help you if they were having similar issues in another class. And then also the faculty are always available to answer any questions if you don't understand material, or if you need tips on study materials to adjunct what you already have. They're just a really great resource too.
How have you felt supported as a student and an individual while enrolled at Salus?
So I think that Salus overall, not just the PA program, does a really good job of making sure that students feel supported. Particularly, they are cognizant that grad school is difficult. Grad school can take a toll on your mental and physical health. So they're always helping us, I guess, make sure that we know that we can reach out to the counseling center, which is a really great resource, and having other avenues of discussion, whether it be via faculty or via the new intern questions, having just areas of dialogue throughout the school.
Where's your favorite place to chill between classes, on campus or in the community at large?
In between classes, we would often have a 10-minute break, so it wasn't too much, but we'd usually have a lunch break. And on nice days, we really like to go out to the picnic tables by the pond. Those are also a hot commodity, so you got to get there quick. But I also like to go for walks on lunch break around the campus perimeter, because it was just a great way to get out there in nature and stretch your legs, because sometimes it just feels like, I'm in a classroom for so long, but it's really great.
How has going virtual impacted your learning experience?
I think that our program did a good job of keeping us updated on how the changes were going when we went virtual. It was tough for everybody. I think that it kind of forced me to change my study strategy some, because I didn't live with any classmates, so I didn't have that ability to have a built-in study group. So my friend and I, after a few weeks, we were like, okay, do you want to study together? And we would get together over Google Meet before exams. So we still got that like study group feeling in, even though we were, 2 hours apart.
What's the first thing you want to do once the pandemic is over?
Go visit my family in Louisiana, for sure, because I haven't been down there since 2019, just because of the pandemic and because of school schedule. So I am hoping to get down there in the coming months.
What advice would you offer an undergrad considering pursuing an advanced degree in this field?
I think this is really important, especially for undergrad students. Like, don't be afraid to take a gap year, or multiple years, because the PA profession wasn't designed for straight out of undergrad. So it's okay if you're not going straight from undergrad to graduate school. Get your experience in, get your clinical hours in, kind of see that PA is right for you, and just maybe find out in areas that you want to work in or don't want to. So I think that there's definitely value in those so-called gap years, which I don't really like that term because you're still doing things in those years. So yeah.
To learn more about Salus University's programs, visit salus.edu/academics.